Hello everyone, this is Kathleen, and I'm here today with my first autumn journal. I loved this book as soon as I saw it in the thrift store. My mother had a set of these books on her bookshelves when I was young, and so that brought back some memories when I saw this. It was this beautiful red, deep red color, and the beautiful embossed gold along the frame. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and I snapped it up, and I have made this pretty autumn journal. I didn't do anything further to the cover because I just think it's beautiful the way it is, and I couldn't think of how I would make it pretty without distracting from that frame. So I've left it. Anyway, so this book is 8.5 by 5 3/4. It has a 1-inch spine with 2 signatures, and it is called The Nun's Story, which is kind of interesting. Just plain on the back, and I've used this pretty button. I went through all of my buttons looking for just the right one because I knew it would stand out, and I tried to use gold, but nothing looked as good as this pretty vintage yellow button. So I've used that. We've got the beads going on here is just a deep red rose and these glass beads. So let's go in and I'll show you. As plain as it is on the outside, it is lavish on the inside. So let me show you. Yeah. So this it's a tuck spot here. There's room here to write your name. I've used the initial page of the Nun's Story and just put some fall butterflies. So it is autumn colors, but I've not done anything specifically autumn to it, so it can extend. You know, if you just like these rusty colors, then there's a lot of gold and yellows and green. So it doesn't have to necessarily be autumn, but it can be autumn as well. I loved this beautiful Art Deco lady. Nouveau, maybe Art Nouveau. There's a difference between the two. Here's just some journaling cards. This is a fold over tuck. Some of that recipe card that I have. Some vintage ephemera. And I've just done this collage here in the corner. I've done some subtle stenciling throughout the whole journal. You'll see this on most of the plain pages. This is a triple pocket with some ephemera in it. These are digitals from the Graphics Fairy that I downloaded. They have this, one of their recent bundles on the premium site is called, oh gosh, I can't remember now. I'll list it down in the description, but it's a bittersweet hues or something like that. Anyway, just really pretty autumn kinds of colors. I have a vintage playing card. I have made this little fold over journal card here, and some vintage ephemera. So the digitals came with these like 6 pockets. It's just a pretty butterfly card tag. And they were supposed to be individual pockets, and I just layered them up to make a triple pocket. This is some vintage, it's like an envelope. You'll see the other part of it, to a planner, October 2001, so a long time ago. And I just have put some a silk bow here, and a couple of pieces of ephemera. This was also from the Graphics Fairy, came as some note paper. So that just clips back on, and there's this little, oh my gosh, I apologize for my fingers, but you know, when you work with red dye, it just does not go away. This pretty little paper clip. And here's a flip out and another flip out. Vintage music page and a tatting book. And some scientific paper, vintage. More stenciling. This is a map page. I've reinforced it here. And just done, this is Tim Holtz die cut and some gold lace, some stenciling. This is 1926, a check stub. And this is just some vintage stationery. It's beautiful paper, very smooth. It'll be fun to write on that. So there's no decoration on it, but it's just pretty paper. And here's a little lace pocket on this side. And these are just common moths, I think, from the UK. It's a UK book. Here's the center of the signature. And I've done some reverse stenciling, some printing, the same stencil, only just smushing it on there. Here's the other side of the map page, and another piece of note paper from the Graphics Fairy. And I just have this little tuck here with a bent paper clip and just some stamps on the other side. This is not a tuck. You can put something here in the paper clip, but this is just an embellishment. Some pretty yellow lace. Here's the other part of that pocket, and some ephemera. This is just some old, excuse me, it's a vintage receipt from Feed and Supply, seeds, tack, pet supplies, and yeah, this is just an old receipt from that store. And this is a receipt from the Monte Vista Fuel and Feed in Santa Fe. 2 bales of hay, it looks like. Some pretty lace. And here's some more ephemera. This is a double tuck. So vintage note paper. This is just some coffee dyed paper for journaling. And this is a little recipe card. It came with that hole in it, so I assume they had it on some kind of a hook. And it's for rhubarb cream pie. And that slides in there. Isn't that pretty? I will also list, this did not come from the Graphics Fairy, these digitals, I think Maremis? No, I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, I will list it down below. Another of the reverse stenciling. Here's a pretty silk ruffle. This is from my stash of swap things. So I don't know who made this, but the colors worked really well. And so it goes in this journal. There's a book page, and this is another of that fun receipt paper. It's like the pin draft printer used to be on a computer. And so it's got all these little, you know, perforations on the side. And yeah, just kind of fun things to write on. This is from the Graphics Fairy, and I have just done a hand-dyed card to go in there. Pretty mushroom image. Some stamping. This is a Tim Holtz die cut. And this is a piece of sari trim. I'm not sure where I got it, probably from Sheila Gingrich. But it's been in my stash for a while now. And this is another just little tuck with a vintage propane card and some more stamping on this pretty picture of chrysanthemum. This is some hand-dyed cotton lace. And here is another triple pocket from the Graphics Fairy. And I just have put these. This is International Collectors Library, some kind of an order. Blank and a tag. Is the center of the signature, this pretty deer and the woods in the background. This is a pocket that I made in a masterboard. So, and this is from the Graphics Fairy, pretty mushrooms. I've just done some stamping on the back. And then this is a vintage flower insert card. You know how you would write a note when you sent flowers, and that's what that is. There's some moths and more images from the Graphics Fairy. This is also a tuck. I don't have anything in there at the moment. Maybe I will find one more piece of ephemera to stick in there. And then here is the last page of these pretty toadstools and butterfly. And this is another silk scarf that I found in a thrift store. And I just love the way that, you know, makes that pretty ruffle. Flip out. And this is a last little tuck spot on both sides, so I can put it on either side. And these ephemera, and then here's the back. The inside covers were in really good shape, so I didn't do anything to them either. And then the beads. So that's that pretty red autumn journal, and I am going to post this on Etsy, so it'll be there as soon as I can get the listing done. Thanks so much for spending time with me. I appreciate you always, and I'll see you next time.